बन्धवे नमो नित्याय नाम शोषितार्णवद्धबान्धवे नमो नित्याय पामरेतरप्रधान बन्धवे नमो नित्याय कालभीत विप्रबालपालते नमो नित्याय शूलभिन्न दुष्टदक्ष पालते नमो नित्याय मूलकारणाय कालकालते नमो नित्याय पालयाधुना दयालबालते नमो नित्याय इष्टवस्तु मुख्य।
I welcome you all with my love and respects. Inner awakening. This program aims at reproducing all components of Jivan Mukti, living enlightenment in you. Please understand, if I have to introduce this program, I have to introduce Jivan Mukti, living enlightenment. Even the word living enlightenment looks very superficial. So I will better use the word Jivan Mukti. From time immemorial, all the thinking, actions, everything humanity does is towards this Jivan Mukti. Maybe they take a short route or long route, but the goal is Jivan Mukti. Just how the Upanishad describes, Anandena jatani jivanti. From bliss they come out, towards bliss they move, in bliss they dissolve. All of us continuously, knowingly or unknowingly, move towards Jivan Mukti, living enlightenment. I have designed so many programs to reproduce one component of Jivan Mukti. Each program aims at reproducing one component of Jivan Mukti. See, a Jivan Mukta radiates. A person who is living enlightenment radiates so many wonderful qualities, so many different energies. One is unclutched being, engramless mental setup, and pure energy centers, health, mental wellness, constant excitement for no reason, causeless, auspicious feeling that everything is auspicious for no reason. Just the whole thing, the whole existence is causeless auspiciousness. All these things are different components of Jivan Mukti. So each one of the programs I have created aims at reproducing one component of Jivan Mukti in you. For example, LBP program, Life Bliss program, that aims at reproducing the component of Jivan Mukti of the pure energy centers, which results in physical wellness, physical health and mental wellness. LBP level 2 aims at creating an engramless being, engramless mental setup, mental setup without any samskaras, and demystifies the secrets of death and after death. LBP level 3 I have created to live in that constant ecstasy, bhava samadhi. That's what is Bhakti Spurana. And Atma Spurana is created, LBP level 4 is created to live an unclutched life. Living in an unclutched way is one component of Jivan Mukti. Living in Bhava Samadhi, causeless ecstasy, reasonless excitement, reasonless joy. That's what I call causeless auspiciousness. You will constantly feel everything is auspicious, but you don't know the reason. In Sanskrit, we have a very beautiful word, Shiva. Shiva means causeless auspiciousness. That's the exact meaning of the word Shiva. Feeling like Shiva, knowing very clearly that everything is auspicious for no reason, without any reason, feeling everything is auspicious. To reproduce this component, I have designed the program Bhakti Spurana. Living the Jivan Mukti in all three states, dream, deep sleep, and waking state. For that only the healer's initiation, Jivan Mukti Diksha. And radiating the enlightenment in all its components, not just in your personal life, expressing it in the form of pure wisdom. Please understand, when you start living enlightenment, you start developing a nadi called Meda Nadi, which is responsible for pure wisdom, taking decisions without dilemma. To reproduce this component, the Nithyanandam, I have designed the program Nithyanandam. Now, through this inner awakening, I am collecting all these programs and adding something more. Whatever I wanted to say, I was not able to say. Whatever I wanted to express, I was not able to express because of so many reasons. I am adding everything and reproducing all components of Jivan Mukti, living enlightenment in every being. Scientist is a person who creates formula to understand the happenings of the outer world. Mystic is a person who creates formula to reproduce the experiences of the inner world. Scientists creates sutras, mystics create shastras. This whole inner awakening, in a way you can call it the shastra expressed from my very experience. Through Nitya Yoga, I am reproducing the Jivan Mukta Sarira, the body of a living enlightened. Through LBP, reproducing the energy centers of Jivan Mukta. Through LBP level 2, reproducing the engramless mental setup of a Jivan Mukta. Through each program, I am reproducing different components of Jivan Mukti, living enlightenment. I invite all of you to go through the whole program intensely and experience, radiate all different components of Jivan Mukti. All I ask from you is just be physical. This is exactly what I am saying in all inner awakening introductions. See, in each introduction, inner awakening and LBE, I add many things new, but there is one thing which I never delete, or which I can't delete, is this one instruction. Be physical. We forgot how to be physical. We lost touch with our very body. We have traveled too much away from our body. Please understand, your bodies are no more vehicle for you. It's not home for you. It's more or less like a hotel room. Just keep all your luggages, go wherever you want in the daytime, do whatever you want, come back and sleep in the night time. Because you are sleeping, you are not even enjoying what is there in the room. We lost touch with our bodies. Please understand. All I want you to do, just be physical. So, you will be completely open to this very presence of the Master. Please understand. Just day before yesterday, I came back from Salem, where we had one of the biggest NSP, second level LBP program. Thousands of people attended. One small girl, maybe you would have heard about that girl, who gets chocolate from my photograph every day. She brought one bag full of chocolates, all international chocolates. Nothing is available in India. All international brands. She's staying in a small town near Bangalore only, Hosur. You can't imagine. Sure, I can say surely that those chocolates will not be available in Hosur. She's bringing all these international brand chocolates. She brought in a full bag and said, Swamiji, these all came from your photograph. The other kids or the other people, they were also asking, Swamiji, how come only she is getting, we are not getting? What is the secret? Let me tell you the secret, just one line. When she asked me, she was physical. There is no theories in her mind. There is no concepts in her mind. There is no her own meaning for my words in her mind. It is simple, straight. Please understand. I am not promoting the idea of getting chocolate from the photograph. Please understand. I am not promoting that idea. You can get chocolate from the shop. Why unnecessarily waste an enlightened master's energy for chocolate? I am not promoting that idea. All I am saying, being physical makes you experience miracles in your life. It makes you completely available, open for everything. Any spiritual process is possible only with a person who is physical. The word devotion, vidarka, surrender, all these words are loaded with too many different meanings and used in wrong places many times. That is the reason I don't want to use any of these words. And all these words has some component which may not be directly required for enlightenment. See, even this surrender has so many components which is not required for enlightenment. Maybe it is required if you are going to become part of my Sangha. But many of the parts of the surrender is not required for your enlightenment. That is why I don't want to use the word surrender. No. Even devotion, not required. Devotion is not required for your enlightenment. If you are interested in taking the signs to others, at that time you may need little bit. Otherwise, you yourself to radiate enlightenment, you don't need devotion. Same way vidarka, Please understand. I am even dropping the necessity of vidarka. Even vidarka is not a requirement. If it is there, you will enjoy even my physical presence. You will just enjoy the actions or the happenings. It may be little juicy, it's almost like a lubrication, that's all. But it is not a basic necessity. It's not a basic requirement for your enlightenment. But being physical is a basic necessity for me to start the process. For me to start this Jivan Mukti process. If you are just sitting with words, then any word I utter, it will only touch your intellectual zone, just that word zone. Any word I utter, you will give some meaning. Oh, I heard this word, I know this word. It will be just nothing but repeating the buzzwords which you know and I know, that's all. It will be nothing but confirming the buzzwords which you already know and which I also know, nothing else. Maybe we will spend time in knowing more and more words, which really I am not interested. If somebody is interested just with words, my YouTube discourses are enough. I wanted you to know whatever you are going to listen from me verbally in these 21 days, everything, every word, every concept, every truth is already in YouTube. You don't need to be here 21 days. It's available freely. In the Hindu tradition, we believe knowledge is free. So if you are here just for knowledge or words, everything is already available in YouTube. So if it is just word game, you want buzzwords, knowledge, then YouTube is enough. You don't need to be here physically. I am not here to do word game for these 21 days. I am very sincere about reproducing all the components of Jivan Mukti in you. So I sincerely request all of you to be physical. Means just be body. If you are just body, any movement you do inside my presence, any small movement, that gap, every gap happening in you, every movement happening in you will absorb intense spiritual energy. All meditation techniques are nothing but method to make you physical. Come back to the body. If you are back to the body, you will radiate Jivan Mukti. Please understand. If you study Vedanta in a superficial way, many people who study in a superficial way start talking, or at least start thinking that they are not bodies. No, it's wrong. I can say this is one of the worst thing happened to India and the Vedic civilization is Naham Deham, means I am not the body. This is one of the worst thing happened to the Vedic tradition. That is not the truth. I am body also is the truth. Please understand. I am not just the body. Same way, you can't say I am not the body. You are body and something more. So this subtle truth got lost with this huge statement of Naham Deham. I am not the body. The big problem is, when you get caught with this kind of ideas, naturally you start excluding the body. Please understand. Anything which encourages you to be centered on the ideas and intellect and brain will become popular because it makes you forget your presence. That is so entertainments. See, why do you spend so much time with all these entertainment things? Because your body is made to forgotten. You don't need to remember your roots. You don't need to be aware. You don't need to be sensitive to the whole. Almost all our Vedantic teachings has taken the turn of entertainment. They have become more or less like an entertainment. The moment you have one wrong understanding, you are not the body, the whole thing is useless. I don't want to say you are just the body, but I don't want to say you are not the body. You are body also. So start from the body. Yoga and Tantra, when these two components are removed from Vedanta, it becomes more or less useless, not only useless, dangerous. So I wanted the Yoga and Tantra components of Vedanta to come back to life. So start from the body. Be physical. I can give you a simple technique, method to be physical. Breathe, inhale and exhale through these 21 points. Understand? 10 in the hand, 10 in the feet and the head. Sahasrara. Just always remember, you are inhaling and exhaling through these 21 points. You will be completely centered on the body. You will be physical. Only 1 or 2 days you will feel little awkward because you are trained to believe you are breathing only through nose. I am not saying you will inhale air through these 21 points. No. But if you visualize, you will start inhaling prana. Please understand, prana is not air. Prana is not air. You will start inhaling prana. If you come to Kumbh Mela, you can see. I have seen in every Kumbh Mela, at least 100, 200 sadhus, they will bury their head for 21 days. And they will breathe through their hands and feet. I have seen. There is no gimmicks, nothing. Don't think there is a tube below their head, under the underground, nothing. I have seen. Full 21 days they will bury their head. They have mastered that art of prana. I am not asking you to bury your head. No, that is not needed. At least for enlightenment it is not needed. But if you start inhaling and exhaling through these 21 points, you will be completely settled into the body. You will become physical. So you will be ready for the process. You will be ready for the process. Please understand, George Gurdjieff says, you don't have soul, you need to create it. I really agree with it. Please understand, it is completely against Vedanta. Vedanta says, you are already enlightened, just remember. George Gurdjieff says, you don't have soul, you need to create it. I agree with George Gurdjieff more than I agree with Vedanta. When you have the idea, you are enlightened, you need to remember, you start working more with mind. Working with mind is straight way to failure. Do not have any pressure. One more thing, you don't need to remember anything. Whatever I am uttering, you don't need to remember. Just be liberated from the pressure to remember any of these things. Just be liberated. If you need to remember, it will be recorded inside you. If it is not recorded, forget it as early as possible. So from this moment, I liberate all of you from any pressure of remembering any ideas or the words I am uttering. Nothing. You don't need to remember anything. If it is required, you will just see, it will stay in you. See, I'll be throwing hundreds of truths, definitions of living enlightenment. Wherever you have problem, that truth will hit you there, and the truth which you need will get recorded inside. Other things will not even go inside you. No need. You don't need to remember all the things which I am uttering. Please understand. You don't need to remember. I need to remember because I need to work with all different people. You don't need to remember. So whatever hits you, if you remember that, that's enough. Whatever hits you, you won't even be able to forget. That's the truth. So just be liberated from any pressure to remember or recall or memorize, nothing. Understand? In Vedanta we have 3 steps. Shravana means listening. Manana means internalizing. Nididhyasana means living, radiating. So I remove one step, manana, from your practice, no need. When you hear the truth from a living master, straight listening is expressing. Shravana is nididhyasana, no need for manana. If you need to do manana, then I have not done manana. If I have done manana, if I have done internalizing, then I know all the problems. If I have done internalizing, if I am expressing, you don't need to do internalizing. Understand? Internalizing means what? Trying to work with the truth and customizing the truth for your lifestyle is internalizing. So I have done that job. Customizing the truth for your life. You don't need to do it. Just relax. I am liberating you from manana. Just listening is enough. You will radiate. You will radiate. So do not have the pressure that I need to remember to tell yourself or to tell others. For both reasons, you don't need to remember whatever I am uttering. If it is needed, it will get recorded inside automatically. You don't need to think or plan or take notes and later on scratch your head, oh, what did I mean when I took these notes? So don't worry. We are inhaling and exhaling through the whole body. Through these 21 points, 10 in the feet, 10 in the hands, the Sahasrara. Feel you are inhaling, just you can even remember, you are inhaling and exhaling through these 21 points. First 1 or 2 days you may feel little awkward. That's okay. You will settle down. You will be completely grounded. You will become physical. The process can start very beautifully. Very beautifully. And I can say, just this one truth, be physical, will take care of everything. The right attitude which is needed to feel connected, to do the process, everything will be taken care. Just with this one truth, be physical. Be physical. Usually the masters expect surrender or devotion, all these things to start working with the disciple. I feel it is not required. It is not required. Just this being physical takes care of how much is needed. That much happens. How much of feeling connection is needed for you to go through the process, for you to experience that enlightenment. That happens automatically if you are just physical here. One more thing, when you start breathing like that, automatically you will be brought to this space, this very presence, this very energy space, energy field, this very maybe I can use the word here now, but even that word is loaded now with too much of meanings. See, any word loaded with meaning takes you away from body. So I am not going to give you much of technical knowledge in these 21 days. It will be more program based on technique and process. Please understand. The whole thing which we are going to do in these 21 days can be classified as 3 parts. 1, technical knowledge, means introduction to the concept or to the truth, ideologically clearing the doubts and inspiring you. That's a technical knowledge. Second thing, technique. Exactly the process which you are required to do. Your part, how you need to move your body, how you need to move your mind, how you need to move your being to cooperate. That's a technique. The third is the energy process. It's my part, my side. It is my job, means awakening you, awakening the dimensions of you which is unknown to you. There are many dimensions inside you, even which you are not aware. That happens by an enlightened master's presence. Just be physical. We will start the process. These 3 things only we will be doing. Technical knowledge, technique and initiation. The process. Initiation is what I call supporting your body and mind to retain the psychological revolution which happens in you through the technical knowledge and technique is initiation. Please understand. Technical knowledge will help your conscious mind to be clean, to be pure. Technique will help your unconscious mind to be pure. So both causes psychological revolution in you. So initiation makes your body to be fit to retain that psychological revolution permanently in you. Bolting the samadhi state in your body is initiation. It's like whenever you go through a psychological revolution, your brain, if it is not ready to hold that experience, if your brain grooves are not sensitive enough, if you have not developed the new sensitive brain grooves to hold that psychological revolution, you will come back, you will fall back to the normal state. It will disappear. Psychological revolution without body being ready is called satori, first experience of samadhi. Psychological revolution, when it happens along with the body, when the body is also ready, it's called samadhi. So here, through technique and technical knowledge, I am giving you the psychological revolution, the satori. By giving initiation, preparing your body, I am bolting that satori state in your body. Means helping you to stay in samadhi. So this whole program, this 21-day program, I am aiming at creating samprajnada samadhi. See, there are 4 levels of samadhi: samprajnada, asamprajnada, savigalpa, nirvigalpa. So the first level samadhi, I am aiming at reproducing. I am trying to reproduce. No, let me be direct. I will reproduce the samprajnada samadhi in all of you. Please understand, I guarantee the samprajnada samadhi, the reproduction of samprajnada samadhi in you. Of course, you have options for the other things also. A little more intensity, means being physical. See, I have a methodology. Any kind of human being can be put into the samprajnada samadhi. And with your part, little more cooperation, if it can happen, simply you will step into the next level samadhis. Next level samadhis, The methodology is powerful enough to put anybody into Samprajñāta Samadhi. Anybody who cooperates, a little more involved, or more intense, be very clear, all other 4 level samadhis are open and available to you. The technology can put you in any level samadhi. I can say that if you are already living in Samprajñāta, many of our devotees are already living in Samprajñāta. I can define Samprajñāta from morning till night, whatever you are doing. If I am there as undercurrent in your memory, I don't even want to say that me, maybe sometime, for some people it will be me, for some people it will be unclutching. That idea, that attitude, if it is there constantly as undercurrent, be very clear, you are living in Samprajñāta. So if you are already living in Samprajñāta and here, you can surely expect at least Savikalpa, one big jump. One big jump, Savikalpa. Savikalpa means more than 80% of unclutching. Unclutched, more than 80%. I can say Samprajñāta is more than at least 51% is Samprajñāta. More than a percentage, if I give you this kind of definitions, you will be able to understand. From morning till night, if I am there as undercurrent in all your actions, you can be sure you are already living in Samprajñāta. I guarantee you will experience the Samprajñāta, and the Samprajñāta will be bolted into your body, into your system. So these 21 days we will be working through technical knowledge, technique, and the initiation. Means awakening to retain the psychological revolution in your system permanently. For example, one component of Jivan Mukti, I'll give you the example. Living in a boundaryless way. Just living, feeling the whole cosmos as your boundary. This psychological experience can be created by technique and technical knowledge. In the brain, if this part is awakened, this is the part responsible for that experience. When that experience happens, this part only gets lit up. If that part is awakened through initiation, this experience stays with you permanently. Some of you might have read some of the researches done on my brain when I was in Samadhi. Some devotees, of course, some doctors, who are our devotees also, they did research through PET scan and different methods. They were able to, I can say, record the effects of different components of Jivan Mukti in the brain. When a person is in Samadhi, I was describing to them some 5 or 6 components of that Samadhi. See, the Samadhi itself can't be described. Its components only can be described. So I described its components. So they studied the brain and they say that exactly the components which I am describing, those corresponding brain parts, those experience which I am describing, those brain parts are either intensely awakened or completely silent. They are not normal. They are not normal like any normal human being's brain. So, in the very brain, if the awakening happens, means physically helping you to retain that Samprajñāta Samadhi. This happens through the initiation. Now, we are already working. Maybe in 2-3 years, we will be able to come up with a clear research report. I personally feel every time when some disciple goes through an initiation, for what purpose he goes through the initiation, which component of enlightenment is getting reproduced, that part of the brain gets intensely active, alive, and retains that experience. It can be physically measured. It is quantifiable, measurable experience in brain. Of course, in psychological state you can't measure, that we don't have scale, but physically, in brain it can be measured. It's my personal experience. Maybe in few years we will come up with research reports, research papers to prove what I am talking. Now we are able to prove this happening in my brain, but I feel whoever gets initiated in all those brains, it is happening. It is happening. Of course, experientially we proved. Thousands of people have experienced. We maybe in few years we will do the paperwork and bring it to the world. Anyhow, understand these three things we are going to do: technical knowledge, technique, and initiation. For technical knowledge, you don't need to be physically here. So I am not asking you to be physical for technical knowledge. Only for technique and initiation, you need to be physically here. You need to be physically here. So, especially for initiation, for the process, I need you to be physical, completely physical. Even if you feel your whole body heavy for 1 or 2 days, it's okay, perfect. Continuously breathe through all the 21 points. Continuously breathe through all the 21 points. Even if you feel your body little heavy, it's perfect. It's perfect. It will really awaken you. It will really help you to go through the process. So the essence is be physical. I do not want to give too many ideas. If I give too many ideas, you may forget the main truth, the core. So I wanted to stop with this one idea in the introduction: just be physical. And one more thing, I have not introduced the program to you. Please understand. I only gave few suggestions and tips to get the best out of this program. The program itself can't be introduced. To tell you honestly, the program can never be introduced, because every day is an introduction. If you talk to the people who have already done this program, they will say every day is an introduction. Just this basic few things is enough. Whatever I spoke now are too broad, you can't understand. I know. Even the Sambranyada Samadhi, what will you understand? I know for sure. I just have to utter some word to make you feel you understand something. So you are given an introduction. It's almost like a respect, courtesy. No, I'm telling you. After giving introduction, I'm telling all this. But what to do? See, I have to be a little courteous. And people should feel, oh, Swamiji gave a beautiful introduction. When you go out. So just for that, a broad introduction, that's all. Where you can't have some model or frame with which you can go on measuring the program. So just enjoy the whole program as it goes, as it goes. I can tell you one thing. Understand? I understand my responsibility. Understanding my responsibility, I am very clearly telling you, see, I can say more than, at least more than 2 crore people accepted me as guru, teacher, means who gives technique and technical knowledge for them around the world. And at least maybe 1 lakh people worship me as a god in their puja rooms, in their shrines, in their personal day-to-day life, doing Guru Puja and worshipping me. Maybe I can say few thousand people. For them, I am not only God or Guru, I am a life for them. I am a prana, life force, life source for them, life force for them. See, with all this background, I understand my responsibility, because whatever I am uttering, whatever I am doing is going to directly affect this many millions of people. So with this responsibility, knowing the huge responsibility I have on my shoulder, I am telling you directly, I am telling you the straight truth. I promise this science works for everybody. So just internalize and enjoy. I am promising straight away, directly, be physical here. You will experience Jivan Mukti. It is my responsibility. I am telling you directly. Please understand, I am not giving any false claim, because I know my responsibility. Millions, for millions, I am master. For a few lakhs, few hundred thousands, I am God. For few thousands, I am life force, life source. I am life. With this responsibility, I am telling you, I know whatever I say gets recorded and people take it sincerely. I am also sensitive to the devotion shown towards me. I am also sensitive and feeling responsible for the love and devotion, commitment I command with my disciples. So with that sensitivity, with that responsibility, I am giving you the promise. The science which I am expressing, the methodology which I am expressing, straight away works. And it is successful. It is successful on every human being without any exemption. Please understand, I am not saying 99.999% it works. No. Then you may think, oh, I am that 0.000.1%. No. It works on all. When I say capital letter A-L-L, on all. So, just be physical and go through. You will experience Jivan Mukti. You will radiate enlightenment. Nothing else needs to be done. You don't need to. Drop all other ideas, limitations, anything you have. Don't bother. Some people have a problem. Oh, I don't pray to deities. I can't connect with the deities. Don't bother. See, I am like a supermarket. I need to make all components of the Vedic tradition available here. So I need to make everything available here. So if you are not feeling connected to any one item, don't bother. I am like a mall. I need to make everything available. So whoever feels connected with that, people, please understand, there are millions who became enlightened just with stones and deities. So do not think somewhere they are lower. I am not saying they are higher or lower. That also has helped for millions. There is so much of traffic jam in the throat. So many ideas wanted to come out. Everybody is fighting with each other. I am first, I am first, I am first. One thing I can tell you, usually when I start any program, what happens inside me, with that I can very clearly predict what is going to happen outside me, in all of you. I can very clearly predict. So with that clarity I can tell you, this is going to be the best inner awakening. I can see very clearly so much happening in me. So much happening in me. One fortunate thing is yesterday is my Deepam festival. In my native place, around 50 lakh people gather. 5 million people gather to celebrate the Devi's enlightenment. Devi became enlightened yesterday evening. That Kritika Nakshatra Kartika Masha Purnima Atiti, the Sukla Vaksha. That's the time Devi became enlightened. So that was the Devi's enlightenment time. To celebrate Devi's enlightenment, the people gather and a huge festival goes on. So yesterday evening itself I was in different samadhi. Usually it settles down by next day morning. But today morning I saw it was not settling down. It was not settling down. Usually when I do my physical movements, I will find out whether it is settled down or not. Some of you may be aware, still I can't do yoga. If I do yoga, body falls into samadhi. You see, if the chakras are aligned in a proper way, suddenly like a spark of fire, energy jumps from chakra to chakra. That kundalini like a crackers, and it bursts and body falls into samadhi. So I never do yoga. That is why I was putting on weight continuously for last 2 years. Now I reduced it because I don't do yoga even now, but I hold on to some steel frame and move my body and do some workout. Holding on to something physically, which is matter, so that I will constantly remind that boundary of the body. I will not fall into the samadhi. I'll be balanced. So today morning I saw very clearly the intense energy and the expression of the samadhi. I know this is going to be the best program. This is going to be the best inner awakening. I know for sure the energy is so strong, it will simply reproduce at least Samprajñāta Samadhi in all of you. When I say be physical, maybe if you understand these few things, it will help you even to understand be physical and how to be physical, because we completely lost the idea of being physical. See, do not carry these identities which you brought when you came inside. For example, if you are a doctor, just drop that identity. If you are a lawyer, drop that identity. If you any identity you brought, just drop. These 21 days, at least these 21 days, this identity is not going to be useful for you. Pick it up when you go back. Just leave it in the reception. Maybe you can leave it in your locker. That will make you completely physical. Understand? It is your identity which constantly interferes and removes you from being physical, being body. Understand? If you are a doctor, you can't enjoy the body. If you are a lawyer, you can't, not only you can't enjoy, you will not allow anybody else also to enjoy the life. Understand? Any identity which comes stops you, reduces the ability to live, reduces the ability to relate, reduces the ability to be. So decide this 20, and one more thing, your conscious decision is powerful enough to solve all the problems you consciously created. Please understand? Your conscious decision is powerful enough to solve all the problems you consciously created. Your identity is problem you created consciously, knowingly, with your will. So now, just your decision is enough. People always think, no, Swamiji, I created this identity without knowing. Now I don't know, just by my will, how can I drop? No, you can. Everything happened with your silent cooperation. So now, I am not saying identity itself is wrong, but I am saying identity is wrong. Sometime I need to be little polite. Anyhow, I can say in a way, not knowing how to relax from identity takes away many beautiful dimensions of your life from you. That's all I am saying. So these 21 days, just learn to be like a Naga. Decide. You will all live like a Naga these 21 days. Naga means identityless. No identity. Just live like a body. Be physical. When you go back, pick up your identity, I tell you, if you just learn the knack of being without identity, you learn the knack of how to create your own vacation even while you are in your office. Your boss will be thinking you are working, but you will be having vacation. See, vacation is nothing but the freedom from identity. Why do you go to a place which you don't know always for vacation? Why? Because the place where people know you and you know them, your identity is rooted. Your identity is strong. So you do not want, you feel suffocated everywhere people know you. Everywhere people are behind you. Everywhere people are thinking, oh, whatever you do is gets noticed. So you are suffocated by the identity. That is why you always wanted to go away somewhere where nobody knows you, where you will not be recognized, where nobody knows your identity. Understand? In every one of us, inside, deep down, the deep thirst, yearning to go away somewhere where nobody knows you is there. That is there in every one of us, deep down. That is why whenever you see a beautiful picture of ocean, or a beach resort, or a rolling hills, or a beautiful mountain, you always feel, if I go there, I will be in ecstasy. But when you go there, you are not in ecstasy. Because you have taken the people who are columns of your identity, who are foundations of your identity. Please understand. If you are taking the people who are foundations of your identity, means your first circle, your warm circle, then naturally you are carrying the identity also. So even if you go to that beautiful hills, or go to that beautiful beach resort, anywhere you go, you are there, watched. People are watching you. People are expecting you to behave a certain way, in certain frame, in certain level, in certain way. So you are again, you will be suffocated with the same identity. Please understand, that is why all our vacations are failure. Actually, people come back more tired, more disturbed, more depressed from vacations than they went to the vacations. Because they do not know the science of vacation. Vacation means the feeling or the thirst, the yearning which you have inside, deep down, to be away from the identity which you show to the world. These 21 days decide. Do not fit yourself into any identity. And do not remember your identity. Live like a Naga. Live like a Naga means just live as a body. Remember you as a body. Physical. I tell you, if you remember you as a body, you will lose weight. Really. It's a technique for weight loss. I can show you before after pictures. Because I have given this technique to many people. Many people have given this technique. All I tell them is just be physical. Feel the heaviness of your body. Be physical. Naturally, you will eat whatever your body wants. You will sleep how much your body wants. All your movements will be in tune with your body. Simply you lose weight. Even in the health, the plane of health, it really helps. So just be physical. Drop all the identity. Drop the name or the ideas which you carry about you. Drop the identity. Just be physical. Try to reduce the number of times you remember your identity. If you can reduce, the process can happen so strongly. One more thing, when you go back, when you pick up your identity, you will fulfill that drama, that identity so perfectly. You will be so productive because now you know the signs of unclutching, signs of disconnecting. From anything you can disconnect, you will start loving it. Anything from which you can't disconnect, you will deep down intensely hate. That is why people with whom you are forced to live, you will carry so much of violence about them. Vengeance. Because you can't unclutch. So do not make your identity as your spouse. Do not make your identity as a forced partner of your life. Let it be the choice. So these 21 days, consciously decide, I am not going to remember the identity which I was carrying. See, identity does not mean only ego. Sometimes even the inferiority complex, even that is identity. Ahankar, mamakar, both. Superiority complex or inferiority complex, both. These 21 days decide, consciously, I will not remember. I will not remember. Try to, as less as possible, as less as possible, you will become physical. You will really be physical. That is the meaning of the Nagas. See, Nagas apply the ash all over the body. Why, you know? Once you apply the ash all over the body, nobody will recognize you. The identity is lost. That is the reason. They apply the ash and live like a body. Live as a body. So these 21 days, live as a body. Always remember, inside the cloth, who you are is you. Not what you are showing along with the cloth. Once you connect, once you feel you and your cloth is identity. Just remember, you are Naga. You are not wearing any cloth. Cloth is put on you. Just like how the cloth is put on this building, put on this hall, Rajya Sabha. Same way clothes are put on you. So live inside as Naga, without any identity. Just without any identity. Try to create new friends, new pillars of your identity, new foundation. Stop, have less minimum relationship with this old identity people who already know you, with whom already you have established identity. Try to move away from them. Try to be as much as possible away from them so that you will not remember that old identity. You are not suffocated. You are not expected to act as you established yourself earlier. Enter into the whole program with deep sincerity and seeking. Ramakrishna says very beautifully, intense seeking is living enlightenment. Understand? Intense seeking is living enlightenment, nothing else. In intense seeking, the seeker itself is burnt. Seeker is burnt in the seeking. The conscious decision to be physical itself will awaken that intense seeking. See, if you are physical, your base, naturally you will work how you can expand, explode. If you are in mind, you will be given an idea, you are already expanding. If you are in mind, it's like a goat hypnotized and told that it is a lion. If you are in the body, you are a lion hypnotized and told as if you are goat. So, be in the body, you will see the intense seeking will be awakened. The seeking you don't even need to create, it will just be awakened. You just, seeking is the nature of human consciousness till it becomes enlightened. Understand? By your very nature, your very being, you are built for enlightenment. Till then, seeking is inevitable. Please understand. You may be postponing or diverting your seeking in different directions, saying, no, 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 I think I am feeling inside lonely because of this reason, that reason. No. You are feeling inside lonely because you are alone. Be very clear. Human being is alone. Do not divert your attention. Do not bring some pseudo reason. Do not justify your depression. Do not justify your lonely feeling. Just be very clear. This is truth. If you see directly the truth, simply you will start working towards seeking. The seeking will be awakened. Seeking will be awakened. You will start working. You will start. Automatically the awakened seeking will lead you to inner awakening. Will lead you to the inner awakening. Will lead you to enlightenment. So the whole thing starts from the root, be physical. Be physical. So now, consciously decide to be physical and create intense, you don't even need to create actually, just be physical, you will feel the intense seeking.